So during our last class, we talked about how the Earth can be split into four different subsystems that all interact together. You've got all the air, the water, the land, and the life on Earth. And we call these different things spheres, right? So in the previous lesson, we talked a lot about the hydrosphere, which is all the water on Earth, and the biosphere, which is all the land on Earth. Today, we're going to be talking about the geosphere and the atmosphere. Okay, geosphere, all the land on Earth; atmosphere, all the air on Earth. Okay, so let's start talking first. This video is about the geosphere, so let's talk about that first. So the geosphere is pretty much the biggest sphere, right? It's everything. It's all the ground, all the mountains, the hills, the rocks. The Earth itself is part of the geosphere. So when we get into our geosphere unit, we will be talking about the rock cycle and volcanoes, the different layers of the Earth. Um, so let's get into that. So first of all, the geosphere. The geosphere is all the rocks, minerals, the ground, and the Earth itself. It comes from the word geo. Geo means Earth. You've heard the word geode, geologic, and a geologist is a scientist who studies rocks and the Earth. Now, what does the geosphere include? The geosphere includes solid rock and liquid rock. So solid rock are things like mountains, hills, rocks, and also ash and dust. So when a volcano erupts, it doesn't just shoot out lava, it also shoots out enormous amounts of ash and dust and tiny rock particles. That's all part of the geosphere too, right? Because it's made of rock. Now, the liquid rock comes in two forms. You've got lava, which is the liquid rock that's already kind of come up onto Earth's surface. And then you've got magma, which is liquid rock below the Earth's surface. They're the same thing, they've just got different names depending on where it is, right? So the geosphere, basically, you've got solid rock as well as liquid rock. The geosphere actually includes the entire planet Earth, right? The entire Earth is part of the geosphere, and the Earth is made of layers. Each layer is slightly different. We're going to learn more about this in our geosphere unit, but we live on this very tiny part called the crust. And the crust is basically floating around on this ocean of magma, this ocean of melted rock. The inner core, on the other hand, though, is made of liquid iron. So a liquid metal core, which is also part of the geosphere. All the Earth is the geosphere. Now, another important thing to understand about the geosphere is that there are these things called minerals. And minerals are the building blocks of rocks, right? If you look here, you can see that these rocks, you can see that these rocks they look like there's lots of different things going on in them, right? You see flecks of gold, parts of white, part of it is a darker color. That's because rocks are made of lots of different minerals all kind of combined together. There's actually about 4,000 different minerals on Earth, and they're combined in different ways to make different rocks. And also, if you think about it, a lot of metals that we think about are minerals. So here's some minerals used by humans, common minerals. We use aluminum for buildings and cars. Copper is a mineral. We use that for plumbing and wires. You've all got copper plumbing in your house. Gold is a mineral, which is used for jewelry as well as electronics. We use lead in batteries and storage tanks. We use iron to build bridges and buildings. We use silicon in our computer chips. So pretty much any kind of metal you can think of is a mineral, which is part of the geosphere. Finally, plants and animals need minerals to grow, so we rely on the geosphere every day. Plants need minerals to grow. They need sulfur and iron, which helps them make their chlorophyll. And remember, we learned about chlorophyll. That's the green stuff in plants that allows them to absorb sunlight. Animals also need minerals to grow, and that's us, right? We need iron for healthy red blood cells. There's a reason your blood cells are red. It's because of iron. We need zinc, which is also a mineral for healthy reproduction. And we need sulfur, which is also a mineral. It gives us healthy skin, healthy nails, healthy hair. All right. So minerals play an important part for us in the biosphere as well. All right. So what you're going to do next, as soon as you finish this video, is you're going to go into your Earth Systems Jamboard, your Geo and Atmo Jamboard today. And right now, what I'd like you to do is let's start labeling some parts of the geosphere. Okay, so you've got these different sticky notes down here. They're kind of hidden right now, but you've got sticky notes down here, and you're gonna do the same thing you did the other day. You're gonna find some examples of the geosphere and label it. So let's see, here I've got a mountain, right? So I would label this mountain, and then I can go ahead and I can color it orange. Now, I know that the other day some of you couldn't color for some reason. No big deal. It's really not the most important thing. But if you can color it, you should go ahead and color in some things that are part of the geosphere. Okay? So look around. What else can you find that's part of the geosphere?